The House Transportation Budget proposal recently passed the House. What projects funded in the budget would benefit the 5th Legislative District?
Well, the House Transportation Budget was one of the major successes that we had this session during the 2017 legislative session. We were able to get two key projects in the 2017 transportation budget. The first was $1.5 million appropriation for increasing turn lane capacity at SR 900 and I-90. That's a very congested interchange, and oftentimes vehicles get backed up on the freeway when they exit or try to get on that interchange. So that was one thing that's going to increase capacity. The second project was we were able to get $5 million funded for the advancing of the design work for the critical SR 18 I-90 interchange project. We got that funded in this biennium. That's going to speed up the design work, which will then, in terms of speeding up the delivery of that project, that's the hope that we will get that project funded quicker by completing the design work this biennium. So that's a really significant accomplishment. We get that myself and Representative Graves and Senator Mullet, we all worked together as a team on that, and it was a really good bipartisan effort.
Lawmakers representing districts in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties have been contacted by constituents who are upset with their increased car tab fees as a result of the controversial Sound Transit 3 measure that passed last November. What are legislators doing this legislative session to reform Sound Transit and provide relief to taxpayers?
Well, my phone has been ringing off the hook from constituents who are angry over their car tab fee increases, and that's rightly so, because it's been sticker shock for a lot of people. So we've tried to enact several reforms that would give relief to folks who, 5th District residents who live in Sound Transit taxing district. The first one is that we tried to sponsor reform bills that would give transparency to Sound Transit by having a directly elected board. Right now, the Sound Transit board members are appointed as opposed to elected, and that's, I think, leading to some of the issues that we're seeing. Secondly, we tried to enact a bill that would give communities the ability to opt out of Sound Transit if they chose to do so. And then I actually signed on to a bill that would provide relief to taxpayers by doing a different valuation for automobiles. Currently, right now, Sound Transit is using an antiquated 1990 valuation method that really grossly inflates the value of the vehicle. So that's why car tab fees are increasing so highly. I would prefer to use the Kelley Blue Book method of valuation. Unfortunately, we're not able to get that through the House this year, but we did get a compromise on a 2006 valuation method, which provides some significant relief. It'll give rebates to taxpayers because it doesn't inflate the value of the vehicle as much as the 1990 valuation did. We're still going to work to push Sound Transit to use the Kelley Blue Book method of valuation, which is I think the only fair way to go. And that would provide significant relief to taxpayers. We're going to continue to push that throughout the interim and next session as well.
This is your last legislative video update for this session. So far, an agreement has not been reached on the overall state budget. What's the latest on budget negotiations?
Well, we've got, I think, 4 days left in the 2017 regular session. I know that the House and Senate budget negotiators are working day in, day out. There still is, I think, a lot of disagreement over what the final budget will look like. So, for all intents and purposes, it seems like we will be going into special session. And the only question is, when will the governor call us back? And will there be some time break in between the end of the regular session on Monday and the commencement of the special session? I think the key issues really are McCleary in terms of what the number will be in terms of how the Senate treats the McCleary obligation as opposed to the House. I know that also taxes are a significant issue, a difference. The House Democrats' proposal raises taxes by about $8 billion over 4 years. That is going to be very contentious in terms of getting any support from Republicans to support those measures. And that's one of the reasons I think why we're going to go into special session is that disagreement over that significant tax increase that has been proposed by the House Democrats, which I do not support and will not vote for. And so my hope at the beginning of session was that we would end on time. It looks like we are going to go into special session because of the significant differences between the parties and between the chambers in terms of taxes, and also how we deal with our McClear obligation, which everyone's committed to, but there are so many different, there are very various competing proposals on how we deal with that McClear issue, and no agreements as of yet. So for folks back home, I just ask you to stay tuned. I will have additional updates when we go into special session and as we draw near a compromise on all these really significant issues. But it's been an honor to serve you in 2017, and I look forward to hearing from you and getting out to our communities during the interim.